Oh! It is Saturday night, and we're in the car headed to Montclair to the Mission Tiki Drive-In theater to see Scream. Scream is one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and they have come out with we don't want to call it a reboot or a sequel, we're going to call it a requel. And I call it that because I actually saw it yesterday morning. I couldn't wait. I was going to go Thursday, but the theaters were just too crowded, so I went first show of the day yesterday. Loved it, so we're going to go see it again at the drive-in. If you're looking for a drive-in, if you want to go to the movies, the Mission Tiki is classic. It's out in Montclair. There's also the Vineland Drive-In in the City of Industry. There are two in the Riverside area, the Woodsboro and the Van Buren. And of course, there's the Paramount Drive-In next to the Bianchi Theaters in Paramount. And if you're out in the high desert, there is the Skyline Drive-In in Barstow. And it's actually raining here right off the 134 near Burbank, but I don't think it's going to be raining when we get up to Montclair. So let's head out to the Mission Tiki to see Scream. I mentioned that Scream is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It really revived the horror genre, and it wasn't so much bloody, gory as it was a kind of a whodunit, so that's why I really like that. I'm not into big, gory, bloody horror movies. To me, I want to see something that's scary and makes you jump and makes you think, and Scream was a good movie, so that was why it's one of my favorites. I've enjoyed all the sequels, but this one, and I'll wait till after we see it again to give any commentary on it because I don't want to spoil it for Nick, but it's a very smartly written film. We're going to be on the freeway for a little while, so let's go over my top favorite horror movies of all time. Scream is definitely in the top 5. The other one is probably the oldest, 1980, movie that most people have never heard of, and it was actually a Disney movie, if you can believe that. It's called Watchers in the Woods, and it was starring Bette Davis. It's about the solar eclipse at this old British estate. It's a really odd movie. It's not bloody, not gory, there's no language, there's no nothing. It's just a really creepy, spooky movie. And it was remade a few years ago for the Lifetime channel, and it just was awful. But the original, if you can find it, you can't find it on Amazon. I think you can find old DVD copies of it, and it is available on Tubi. I just looked, so you can watch it on Tubi on your phone or your tablet. So that was definitely one of my favorites, Watchers in the Woods with Bette Davis, 1980. So another one of my top 5 favorite horror movies, and this one's probably going to get comments, so feel free to comment below, and I'll tell you why it's one of my favorite horror movies, was The Blair Witch Project. I know a lot of people will say that was an awful movie, it was so stupid, it was fake, but at the time I was working at Club Disney in Chandler, if anybody remembers Club Disney. A lot of our cast members also worked at the Arizona Mills Mall up the street, and the studio was handing out tickets to an advanced screening. We're talking way in advance. This was weeks before the movie came out, to go check it out. So we got tickets to this, and we went to go see it. We had no idea what it was about. All we knew was that it was a documentary, and at the time the internet was just kind of starting to come around, and they had a website with all the found footage and what happened to these people. And we were all kind of freaked out going into it. And I remember watching it with the whole crew from Club Disney. And when it ended, the entire theater, and it was one of the big auditoriums at the Harkins at Arizona Mills, 400 or 500 people just sat there in shock. Some people were crying, other people were silent. It really freaked us out. And that Blair Witch Project kind of started that whole found footage genre, fake documentary. So at the time, it freaked us out. So that will remain one of my favorite horror films of all time. Another 80s movie that completely freaked me out as a kid, and is even freakier today, was Lady in White, starring Lucas Hayes. And if you saw it, he gets locked in a closet in his elementary school. And there's actually a school in Burbank that reminds me just of this school from the movie. I don't know if that's where it was filmed, but every time I drive by it on Olive, I freak out. It's a really creepy movie. Again, not bloody, gory, just really creepy and scary. And the subject matter is really dark too. And as an adult, it's a little odd. That makes it even freakier. But if you have a chance, check out Lady in White. That was 1988. Freaky film. 1999, Kevin Bacon starred in a movie called Stir of Echoes with Alana Douglas. And Kevin Bacon, I feel like we're on a roller coaster at knots. Kevin Bacon gets put under a trance and hypnotized. And after he does that, he starts seeing apparitions and all kinds of spirits, and he's kind of haunted. It is another one of those freaky movies that there's no blood and guts, but it will freak you out and keep you up at night. So that was one of my favorite horror films of all time. That Stir of Echoes, 1998, I believe. 2009, Universal Studios released The Strangers. I believe it was a scare zone and Halloween Horror Nights. I don't think it was ever a maze, but they definitely used that franchise for a couple of horror nights. What was scary about this movie is that it's about a couple trapped in their home being terrorized by home invaders. again, not really bloody, guts, gory, anything like that, but it's something that could actually really happen. And I remember taking my friend Regina, and she watches these videos. So hi, Regina. She's in Phoenix. She hates horror movies. But I took her to see The Strangers. I don't think she slept for a week. But that is another freaky, scary film. One more of my favorite horror movies, and this one I'd say enjoy about 80% of it. Stephen King's Children of the Corn from the 1980s. It starts off really freaky out in the cornfields with Malachi and all them. That kid freaked me out as a child. It gets a little stupid and kind of paranormal towards the end, but the rest of the movie, about 80% of it, freaky and creepy. That's Children of the Corn, Stephen King from the 1980s. As a self-proclaimed horror junkie, staying up watching The Shining in the middle of the night, Tales from the Crypt, nothing has ever freaked me out horror movie-wise until The Witch, which came out a few years ago. And The Witch freaked me out so bad, the ending, that I couldn't bring myself to go home. And there's a story behind why it freaked me out really bad. I don't want to get into that or give away the ending of the film. But what happens at the end, I actually believe happened to me once in real life. So I'm just going to leave that there. But I was so freaked out after seeing that movie one night, I actually went to Denny's and sat in Denny's for like 2 hours. And the server asked, "Are you okay?" I said, "No, I was just freaked out by a horror film." I sat there for hours. So The Witch, again, it's kind of a weird movie. Not everybody's going to like it, but what happens at the very, very end, I cannot discuss. I can't even bring myself to talk about it, to be honest with you. Nick, have you ever been in this snack bar here? I don't think you have you?
I don't know. I don't remember.
You've been to Vineland. This place is a blast from the past.
Oh, yes, I have. Yeah,
It really looks like a tiki. It looks like Trader Sam's inside, but really from
they
the
were really
60s.
restrictive, like only one person at a time.
No, that was Vineland. That's Vineland Drive-In.
But I do remember this one. Don't you kind of step down in it?
Yeah, it's like you step down. It's really cool. So this was supposed to actually be torn down a few years ago, and it survived somehow, and it's supposed to be turned into an industrial complex. So come out, check it out while you can, while it's still here. Here are the nachos. They make them fresh for you. And you pick them up at the window. Ton of cheese, jalapenos, yum. So they have a combo number 3. It's a medium popcorn, 2 large drinks, and nachos for $15 and change. And we also got a slice of pizza, came to $20 for all the food. Not too bad, considering.
One of us is the killer?
I think it's pretty clear who the killer is at this point. Who?
Maybe he's the killer. Maybe you're the killer.
Would you like to play a game?
Hey, so what did you think?
I loved it. It was awesome. Yeah, everything is great, and it's exactly like what scary movies used to be, at least for us.
Dylan Minnette, we're trying to figure out where he's from. I know we've seen him somewhere.
He has a weird face, so he came from somewhere.
It is perfectly cast. Jenna Ortega, the whole cast, I loved it. And Jack Quaid is the son of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid. He's in it. Of course, Neve Campbell is back. David Arquette is back, and Courtney Cox are back.
Well, and the original guy.
The original guy that does the voice is back too as the voice, but it is just so well written.
I'm glad that Courtney. It's good to see Courtney Cox
I know,
again.
It's good to see the back. Actually, I saw this movie opening weekend when I lived in Prescott, Arizona, and it's been so long. And Heather Matarazzo, she was actually DJ's girlfriend in Roseanne.
I remember that.
It was fun to see her too. But it was like seeing old friends, seeing David Arquette and Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell all back. But if you love horror movies, like myself,
like legit horror
movies.
Like these are real horror.
I was so
movies.
irritated seeing Halloween Kills a few weeks ago because Michael Myers just never dies. It's like at some point horror fans want him to die, and it pokes fun at awful reboots and franchises, and pokes fun at movie fans on the internet, and it's just really, really well written. There's some jump scenes. It's really funny in certain things. It's not a comedy by any means, but it pokes fun at a lot of stuff. It's just really, really, really well written. So highly recommend seeing it. And this place is packed tonight too.
Yeah.
It's on 2 screens because it just started again over there. See at the beginning? It's on screen 3 starting.
Oh, let's just go over there and watch it.
Yeah, we'll watch it. Well, now we know what happens. I already knew what happened.
Still watch it again.
But it's really good. So we're holding out here for the end and see what happens at the very end, supposedly. The nachos were delicious, by the way. They're not like the pre-made nacho cheese in the little cups that they give you at Regal or AMC or Cinemark. They actually pump it for you, and it came with 2 things of jalapenos. The popcorn was good, although I will say Vineland Drive-In's popcorn is better, but the snack bar here has a lot more stuff. So
yeah, it's like a full kitchen.
Yeah, it's like a full restaurant in there. So we're at the Mission Tiki. Gotta come check this place out. Support your local drive-ins, whether it's this one, Rubidoux, Van Buren, Vineland, or the one up in Barstow. I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I even follow them on Facebook. It's a family-owned location. I'll put the name down at the bottom. I can't think of what the name of it is. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you check out Scream. The original is on Vudu and Amazon Prime. I know. I want to watch them all over.
That was like that. I can't believe it's been 20-some years since the first one came out.
It was 96, I believe, in Prescott, Arizona. It was in a community college.
96? I thought it was 2000.
No, it was 96.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, I was in Prescott. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And if you don't have that notification bell, please click that notification bell so you know we have another video. We did a halfway to Halloween video back last year with a whole bunch of haunted attractions around Los Angeles. So I'll put a link to that in the comments so you can check out those locations. And thanks for watching. Comment below what your favorite horror movie is.